Okay. So Elijah, you have alluded to this other formula that gave birth to the fungus ease, and
The
that was the
arthritis, we
arthritis
took a
ease.
portion out of that.
Could you tell a bit about that?
Oh, you bet. This one was one of the more fun formulas I've ever made. I had designed the fibro formula, and I went, whoa, we're onto something brand new. So anyhow, I hadn't been designing for a while. In the clinic, I have been doing, well, I'm a structural therapist. I specialize in spinal cord reconstruction, and a lot of my practice was that. And because we have a number of doctors who use natural things, a number of years ago, I had done very little with herbs and wasn't sure what to do anymore with things. But this was right before I designed a whole lot of the new wonderful things, which of course my practice was like add water after that. You know, the whole thing just kind of sprang up into big blossoms, which was beautiful. So I gave myself an assignment to get back into designing. And I thought, what was something that I've never really done well with? And that was an arthritis formula. Now we're talking not osteoarthritis, but the kind of arthritis that the calculi that builds up in things. Remember that rheumatoid arthritis is an autoimmune problem on that, which I think we may be right on the verge of doing something with autoimmune on this. We need a little more testing, but if something is what I think it is, we got some pretty exciting things coming up pretty soon, Martin. So I gave myself, and I said, there could only be 5 herbs in here. And that's that. Well, I designed it in 4 herbs. Now, this is how we did this. This is so cool. So I love to read a lot about nature and correlations in nature. So I had read a long time ago about an old way that was used back hundreds of years ago for calculi arthritis. Is they would take a person, bury them up to their neck and next to an anthill, and before they did it, they would slather them with honey. Well, the ants would come and they get hundreds of ant bites. Well, ants have formic acid in their mouths, which is one of the most remarkable alkalizers. Well, what just kind of happens in nature, and I love to equate things like this in nature. This is how a lot of the old herbalists used to do this. If we had hours, I could tell you all these great stories and things, but I'll keep to the point somewhat. So I said, okay, well then, if formic acid did that, where's the closest place that it occurs in the herbal kingdom? Well, it's in Irish moss. Chondrus crispus has fumaric acid. So it's only a molecule or so away, and we can kind of bend that over in that direction. I'm sorry, my mistake. It was Iceland moss. Irish moss comes up later. It's Iceland moss, Crataria islandica, that has fumaric acid in it. And like I was saying, it's only about a bit of a molecule away from the other. But if we combine it with some Irish moss, whoa, that kind of pulls it into that direction. Then what we did, we used regular garden variety hydrangea root because we needed to have an exit point of the body for that. And hydrangea just happens to have a particular type of phosphorus in it. And what that does, that actually helps to break down kidney stones. So what we did, we put it all together like this, and then we added an herb in there just to help direct it. So we did it in 4 herbs instead of 5. Let me tell you about that herb, how fast that works for type of calculi buildups. It's great for bone spurs. When I was younger, I used to be kind of rough, and I broke some bones in my feet. This goes back quite a few years ago that I had this particular problem. I feel like a guinea pig for these things. Well, what happened was the upper top of my left foot was starting to hurt a lot. One night, it woke me up. It was in the middle of the summer, and I was getting ready to go on a vacation up to Mount Shasta for 5 days to go hike up in the mountains and photograph. It got so bad my foot before I went was that the cover, the sheet at night, woke me up. It hurt, and my foot felt like cut glass in it. And I'm going, I can't hike. I can't do anything. And I kept thinking I must have banged my foot. Then I remember I had actually broken some of the bones in my foot, and I went, well, I've got calculi arthritis in here. Whoa. Well, anyhow, it's about 10 days away from my trip, and I'm going, maybe I should cancel this because they're going to keep the money for the place and everything. So I took the formula. By the 4th day, the pain went away. I took it for 3 months, and I've never had a problem since. We use this one a lot in the clinic. But again, it's specific. It's not for rheumatoid arthritis. It's not for osteoarthritis, which is losing bone mass and density. It's for those type of calculi. Again, if you can get into a good diet, talk to Martin about that if you need to. If you can get into a good diet, now that's going to make a big difference with that also. But we've had wonderful, wonderful, wonderful results with this formula, and it's so simple, and the whole thing is actually based around an ant bite. So that's why I want to tell you about this one, because we took some of the base of that, put it together with black walnut leaves and hulls. We used the green hulls, and burdock root and seeds, and that gave us Fungus-Ease.
Awesome.
That was very awesome, let me tell you.